Beerreviews.com. It is summertime 2015 and session IPAs are on the rise and they're everywhere, and it's the big new craze in craft beers. Session beer means essentially it's a lower ABV, but you have the quality of a good craft beer as opposed to the macro beers that are produced and available everywhere. So this particular one um, is one of the ones in the store I always passed up. I don't know why. I don't have any reason why, other than I just did. And it's from the Unita Brewing Company, which Hop Notch is one of my favorite beers that they produce. Everything is in cans. That's not true either. Detours in bottles. Incorrect. They're not all in cans. This particular one I've only seen in cans. It's called Trader. It's a session IPA. It is uh, available pretty much year round as far as I can tell. It was first brewed back in 1994, and I live on the East Coast. I never heard of Unita before, but it was kind of their what they call their Trailblazer IPA. And at the time, session IPA wasn't really even a term. It was just a low ABV beer. This particular one is 4%, so it's right along the lines of all the macro beers, which, in my opinion, a session should be quite frankly, as low as possible. Session means you're going to drink a lot of them. So it says, essentially, in 1996, Unita purchased their first bottling line, and Trader made its way to a bottle on retail stores across Utah. But then 20 years later, the brand continues to be successful for this brewing company. So in 2014, it really became distribution became much wider across the country. So once again, it's got a bright hop character and balance. Session beers, like I said, are kind of the new thing here. What else can I tell you? I already told you it's 4%. They don't tell you ABVs. So you can actually buy these in 12 packs, and they're not that expensive. They're under $20 for a 12 pack. So per beer, it's dirt cheap. Unita's kind of known for the wind and power solar brewing company. They've got like this whole compass thing on the top here. It's a cool can. I like this can a lot. It's got a big hop in the middle. But, from session beers, you want big flavors, but not a lot of alcohol ABVs, and that's hard to do. But this particular one, I think, I cheated on this one. I tried it before I did the beer review. It's a little cloudy. It's got a very thick, white, frothy, foamy head on it. I mean, it's thick, especially for a session. It doesn't dissipate either. But it's got a nice, it's very piney. So in terms of florally or hoppy, to me it definitely has that characteristic of the pine needle, very earthy, grassy, etc. But it's got a very nice hop background to it. So, cheers. It's very easy to drink. It finishes smooth. It's got a really nice kind of light body to it, which is what session beer should do. Um, it, it's got more character to it. I don't want to say it's thicker because it's not, but it's got more character to it than I think a lot of other session beers do. And so for me, this is kind of one of those beers that I honestly think, in terms of the class of the beer, I'm going to try to see if I can find the ABVs here real quick. I really honestly think it's one of the better ones. I mean, this is good. But, here again, session beers are something that can be kind of hard to palate. Here we go. IBUs are 42, which is really good, I think, for a session beer like this. It's also something that I think this beer has been around for so long before the session craze that I think they've kind of perfected. In my opinion, this would be in one of my top 3 session beers. I mean, it smells good. It's very fresh in terms of its aroma. but it's easy to drink, and it's way better than a lot of the other macro beers at a very small price point increase. So I would compare this to All Day IPA from Founders, but quite honestly, after the little bit that I've had, I would probably choose this before. It's not as extremely hoppy as that one. It's got a little bit more of a characteristic to it that I think is very good. So yeah, I'll definitely buy this again. I like it a lot. I would give this at least a 4.5 on our rating scale. I mean, between 1 and 5. This is really, for a session IPA, this is one of those I think really hits the mark on what session beers are trying to do. And I've had a few of them recently. One was from Stone. It was a great beer, but they're labeling it as a session, and it was extremely hoppy. So if I think I'm going to be at the lake, the pool, the beach, and it's hot, which is where I reserve the session beers in the summertime, it was so hoppy that I just wouldn't choose it. This is one that I would. So try it out. Great beer, great session beer. This will probably go on our top 10 session beers on our website and on our playlist on YouTube. So leave some comments. Let us know what you think. Thanks for watching microbeerreviews.com on our Facebook, on Twitter. We upload all the time. We appreciate you watching, and we will